Welcome back to some Chicken Police. I'm Dear Darling, or Chicken Police Painted Red even. I'm Dear Darling, and join me in a couple of hard-boiled gumshoes as we take a walk on the wild side. Also in Chicken Police, the language used is not suitable for children, and some scenes might be disturbing to younger audiences, so consider yourself warned, as last time we ran into Dr. Sisus Quetzalcoatl, and I decided to record another episode just so we can interrogate him, because it seems like things are kind of heating up, and also it's heating up in my room, so I'm going to open my window a little bit. This is summertime, of course, when I'm recording it. Oh, you might hear a train sound. You know, bad time to open the window, but here we go.
But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Let's close that instead. I'll just burn instead. It's a real mystery, but I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of a puzzle. Okay. This is actually incredibly intimidating. Mysterious. Okay, so, let's see how good we'll be at interrogations.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or
Hobart,
Pippin, as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Only 4 years ago? Oh, I got the impression Ibn was much older than that.
Day, more specific.
Not much older than 4, but I mean, like, he would be like in his 50s or something. It'd be quite late scene to be administered into a hospital like this.
Maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power
Are you just on purposely using words with S in them?
Short periods of time.
Not sure.
What was your first impression?
I guess that's not a nice sound.
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were, or at least
The
I
name
knew
precedes
one
him.
of them. Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity,
Lover? It's kind of, you make it sound like you had a fling
Albert?
with him or something. Fair enough,
He was
then.
new to me, an invisible grey ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
I see.
Why?
That's unfortunate.
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but
Wait a minute.
observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
I wonder if they actually are going to do like a Hobart and Albert's switch on us. Because I remember they said very much near the beginning of the story, they really emphasised how the fact that Ibn's been acting differently recently. Just saying. I'm just plotting these little seeds down here, so if it does end up being the case, I can be like, I called it, I knew it, even if I'm not entirely sold on that theory. Because that seems a bit strange to me, but still. I was constantly moving. Now
Was
stop
he
for a second.
afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here.
Oh.
Alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
I mean, when you put it like that,
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
maybe he
Of
likes
course I
the
did.
quiet, the
But
silent.
who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
I'm pretty sure you're just picking S sounds now. Tell me, did Ibn threaten you in any way? What kind of special treatment did Albert get? I didn't see why Ibn would threaten him, so I
What
guess I'll ask
kind
this
of
one.
special treatment did Albert get?
I'll see if it's a correct choice or not.
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr.
Patients.
Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Did he receive a nicer room?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
That's fair enough, I
So
guess.
you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him.
No, yeah, hold on. Wait, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
I mean, he turned into one. Plus 10. Okay, so that was not the threatened one. That was special treatment. Special treatment? How did you see Albert when we first met? Did you think he was a threat to others? How did Albert relate to you? I don't know. Addicted to details, daydreamer. How did you see Albert? He probably picked up
How
on
did
some
you
subtle
see
details.
Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He
Ghost?
almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
He sounds kind of normal, to be honest,
What
so far.
else?
He's just shy.
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman.
What?
Yes. He was rather feminine. He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and a rather good writer, too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
Why did he have to be locked up?
Yeah.
I asked the same thing at first.
And then you found out? That's a plus 20. Okay, so what that was... How did you see him?
Are you telling
Oh.
me Albert had multiple personalities?
We
Really?
found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and
Interesting,
calculating
dissociative identity disorder.
personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
Sounds quite difficult.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr.
This is very
Featherland,
intriguing.
but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
Left your institution.
He did what? Left the institution. More than once?
Is he allowed to do that?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
What's he doing?
Quetzal's not only very
Confused.
observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
Okay. So Albert could just walk in and out? You're keeping some things on me, am I right? When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time? This seems like it's rife for details. How could you let Albert leave his place? Okay.
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
I feel like we don't need to be
It
confrontational
was
here.
about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
And he just came back?
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He
Oh,
was
that's nice.
unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
I don't like your laugh
That
before
was
that, but alright.
unusual for him.
Not a happy
I
person,
had
is he?
never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
I wonder what Ibn said
Did
to
he
him.
ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship.
That's
He
the
was
piece of the
working
painting.
on a painting for
I called
his
it,
brother.
kind of.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, what?
Oh, exactly.
Oh.
So you already knew about that.
Wow, he is a talented painter.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal.
He's really good.
I've seen it.
That's a plus 10. Has Albert ever talked to you about Natasha? Did Albert tell you how he felt about the painting? So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting. I'll tell you about his relationship with... Okay, I don't know which one to ask here. I don't know which one we're meant to ask about here. Daydreamer details. Relationship with brother. No. He left on many occasions. He'll probably tell us about each
So
occasion.
Albert left on many occasions to continue working
That's my
on
guess.
the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
Oh.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself. And
Oh.
on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece
Oh.
by piece.
Do you
Stitching
think
it
the painting
together.
caused it?
The painting?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
Natasha.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed right until that
So it
fateful
was-
day when he returned to us for the
Hobart
last time.
who threatened Natasha. Ibn found out, killed him. Hobart, I guess, also killed Deborah. And what's the whole thing to do with hiding Natasha's past?
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of
Gorillas?
his gorillas. Not literally, I mean.
Was it Archibald and
Albert was in
other
a
guy's name whose name I can never remember?
terrible state.
Oh no.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could
Fair
be
enough.
vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
This is one we won't be attacked.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out.
Oh.
Or cut off, I don't know exactly. And he was blinded in one eye. Or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
You think Ibn did that to him?
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
That's very cruel.
And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened.
Accident.
They simply told me it was some kind of
I guess Ibn didn't like that.
accident.
How his brother was acting, eh?
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability.
Exploit his
if I wanna
vulnerability?
learn everything about Albert.
That was a +20. Whoa wee. Two fellas who brought back Albert, could you describe him? You didn't believe Albert had an accident, is that right? Maybe it's not easy to talk about. Did you examine his wounds thoroughly? These all actually seem like pretty reasonable options. Okay, we gotta hone in on his confusion. I mean, he's gonna be confused
You
with this,
didn't
surely.
believe Albert had an accident. Is that right?
Of course not. I'm not naive. I knew immediately that Albert had been severely
I mean, I feel like any of
battered,
us could put that
and I
together,
was
but
sure
but
it had been
why?
his brother, Hobart.
Well, we don't know that, Dr. Quetzal.
Would you defend a monster?
I feel like there's gonna be a negative
Take it
option
easy,
here.
Doc. One of the most critical elements of my job is not to make assumptions.
It's fair.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Featherland. I'm sorry I got carried away.
He
It's
sounds so
all right.
sarcastic.
Happens to everyone.
I was a -20. Okay, fair enough. What do you think happened to Albert? Pull yourself together, Doc. What was Albert's condition after the incident? What do you think happened, maybe?
Concentrate, Doctor. What do you think happened to Albert?
I don't really know which one's the best one
I'm
here.
sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men
But why?
to mutilate poor
But why?
Albert.
But why would he do that?
Exactly.
Maybe Albert saw something he could accidentally reveal.
But why only take one of his eyes?
To whom? The four walls? A couple of crazies? You?
to
I mean, I guess.
anyone, Mr. Featherland.
So I guess Hobart. Oh, Hobart must have found out about Natasha's past and then got really like upset and offended by it, and that's why he keeps writing that word and threatening
I
her,
don't
right?
think it's that simple, Doctor.
But he got caught.
But thank
or
you
something.
for your honest opinion.
You're welcome, detective.
That's a +20. What did I click? Concentrate. What do you think happened?
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
He went on his walkabout.
Later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then.
Wait,
We
no, but it
even
can't
had to
be
transfer him to another
Albert because he
cell,
hasn't left
a
since then.
more safe one.
Unless he's been escaping the asylum to go threaten
What did
Natasha.
Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was
I don't feel like you've gotten quieter, Dr.
in an
Quetzal.
almost vegetative state by then.
Or has the music gotten
Couldn't you
louder?
manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something.
Oh,
Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
gosh.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Well, it's not that difficult to
Did
pick a lock,
anyone
I'd
see
imagine,
anything?
especially for someone in the criminal underbelly of Clawville.
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
How mysterious.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you,
Wow.
Doctor. You've been a great help.
Mysterious.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
Well, you must attend to your work,
We
but we must
understand,
question you once
Doctor.
more time to get
Thank
100%. That's not bad, we probably got like 90. Yeah, 90. We just messed up one question. We have a hunch about what could happen to him. Retry, okay.
So,
This,
what
special
kind of-
treatment. How did you see Albert?
Are you telling
Multiple
me-
personalities. When and why? I can't remember what I did.
So Albert left.
This one?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he...
Dr. Quetzal is...
That was a plus 20. This one's detail orientated.
The two fellas who brought Albert back. Could you describe them?
A ram and a bobcat.
Those two fellas, as you put it, were two remarkably huge, rude men.
A ram and a
Rude.
bobcat, perhaps?
They appear again.
No, one of them was a tiger, if I
Oh.
remember correctly. He had a rather fresh bump under his left eye, and the other one was a penguin. But I've never
Oh,
seen
that
a
actually is
penguin that big in my entire life.
Different goons were
Did they
moving.
tell you anything besides it was an accident?
They didn't say anything, but gave an obvious signal that I had to keep quiet.
What, they
about
just went like
what
shh
happened.
I
with their
see.
fingers? That's a -5, okay, so it's not bad. Let's concentrate. What happened?
then?
Okay, retry. So it's the only one we didn't try.
Doctor.
So we're doing considerably better on this
So when
interrogation
did
than
Albert
quite a lot of the other ones. What kind
What
of special
kind of-
treatment? How did you see Albert? I mean, this one, oh no, that's a plus 20.
Are
One
you
of these is a
telling me
plus 10,
Quetzal's
which could be
not
better. When and why?
And why?
Left
So
on many
Albert,
occasions.
Dr. Quetzal.
Examine
Maybe
his
it's not
wounds.
easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland.
But-
even I could determine his tongue was either cut out or bitten off.
Bitten off.
And his eye was gouged out. He also had several broken bones.
That's horrific.
But there's no doubt.
Evan is
it
not a
wasn't
nice
an
person, eh?
accident.
I suppose it's not really surprised, but
I don't believe it was, Mr. Featherland.
I totally agree.
that's a plus 10. Why?
Concentrate. What happened then?
I don't know why we were like concentrate. 90? Okay, so one of these plus 10s must be a plus 20. And I have a feeling it's
So
probably, it's
when
not
did
this
that-
one. It's
What
not this
kind
one.
of-
That's a plus 20. That's a plus 10. How did you see Albert?
when you
It's
first
fine.
met?
It's not this
Are you
one.
telling me
It's not this one. It's the one
Quetzal's
after
not-
this one.
When and
Oh no, it was this one. Wait, what?
so Albert
Is this one the
left
plus 20?
on Dr.
That's a plus 20. Okay.
Maybe it's not easy. Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition
I guess we can
after
look at
the
this.
incident?
I don't know if it'd be
Mind
any.
your tone, detective.
Sorry.
Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
That was a bit ominous
How
there.
could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So you know how I was saying I was doing well at the
So,
interrogation.
What was he like after the incident?
Shut off
Even
and
more
reserved.
silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
Weird. Obviously, that's a
happened
-5. Okay. So it's the third, no, the second or third option we have. What we need to do a bit better on.
So when did Al...
Got a
What
special
kind?
treatment. How did you see him? It's a one after this one, isn't it?
Quetzal?
So Albert could just walk in and out. I don't think this is the way to do it. So Albert could just walk in and out?
Walk in and out.
Far from it, Mr. Featherland. Though Mr. Hobart Wessler had appeared on many occasions and took Albert with him. At those times, he usually brought him back the same day.
I can't believe these interrogations take so long.
At the
Maybe
latest.
we just fly by.
What was the purpose of these outings?
Albert
painting.
Wessler was working on a painting.
Painting.
Mr. Featherland.
Oh yes, the painting. It's all starting to come together now.
So
Oh, yeah, it's all
you've
coming together
heard
now.
About the painting.
I've seen it with my own
Sure I
eyes.
have.
It's only a +5, okay.
Did Albert tell you how he felt about the painting?
From the first moment he loved it.
Maybe we should have
He
asked
was
about Natasha.
fascinated by it.
I don't
But
know.
who could blame him? A
Sorry,
little
just, like, adjusting my chair.
diversity, fresh
Posture
air,
check.
a beautiful lady, and of course, on top of all that, he could finally do what he loved best: paint.
Good for
Which
him.
could be a surprisingly effective therapy.
Yeah,
It
art
could
therapy.
have been. Unfortunately, these excursions have greatly intensified his seizures. They have become more frequent and extreme.
As his obsession of Natasha grew. That's a +10.
So Albert left on many... Dr. Quetzal? Maybe it's not easy. Concentrate. What happened then?
No, but I mean, that is 100%. Is that living legend? Fair enough. Perfect job. Exactly how you would have done it 10 years ago. Beware Clawville, Sunny Beverlyn and Chicken Pizza back in action. Why do I feel like I didn't perfect that, but still. Albert Wessler disappeared. We have a hunch about what could have happened to him. I feel like Hobart took him. Got quite a few codex entries now. Albert Wessler disappeared. We have a hunch about what could have happened to him. Is this a picture of Ibn? Albert has been treated in insane asylum for far from city. We might have a bingo. Albert Wessler has disappeared from the asylum. Albert's brother Ibn took him out of the asylum on several occasions to paint that fateful picture of Natasha. I think we have a motive, gentlemen. We have a motive? Do we? Do we? Ibn most likely killed his own brother. Albert Wessler made Zip dispose of a body. That seems the most plausible right now anyway. Oh yeah, this like appeared before we even found out it was his brother, so that's a bit strange. Anything new on Natasha? Places? Oh, we never clicked this. A mental asylum with a ridiculously long name and a ridiculously long history. According to the pictures, it looks just like a castle of a vampire bat in those cheap horror movies. Just skip to the end of a codex, see if there's anything new. The half-century occupation. Since its foundation, an attempt to conquer Clawville has only been made once. The half-century occupation started in 622 and lasted until 677. During this time, the Hara Empire took over all of Clawville's territories except its colonies, which in the end, with the help of Swalasso and Blavoslavia, took back control over Clawville. Asking 10 questions is a bit strange, but you know, 100% is 100%.
That's quite shocking information.
And there's a lot of information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
I suppose that's fair
Then
enough.
the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Very different.
How?
I just noticed my, computer cooler is red. I don't know if it's meant to be like that. Hold on a second. Never mind, it seems to be okay. At least the temperatures seem fine, so, you know, nothing to worry about. Maybe it's because it's a hot day than usual. I mean, maybe it did used to do in summer.
If
Anyway.
someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
Might be interesting information
I'd
we might find
rather
here.
call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Is that good exceptional or bad exceptional? Also, do snakes' mouths normally go this far backwards in their head?
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
Let's do a little,
That's
Looking and
not
poking.
going to bother anyone.
especially if he's not there right now.
Well, that's, surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It
Could be worse.
seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
I suppose that's not
And
that surprising
a healthy
either.
dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
I mean, I can see the start of WH
Well,
on the wall,
I
so...
smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
Charles Dickens book.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you.
Also, how can you
now,
smell all that?
But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
What?
I'm on it, boss bird.
What weird way to phrase it. Okay, so that's obviously the painting. The significant painting. Wow! The scrawlings of a madman.
A
It's a
small
window.
window. A small hope.
Only a singular window that high up?
A small...
A writing desk. Hey, what's the difference between the Edgar Allan Poe and a writing desk? Wait, that's not right. A raven and a writing desk. Edgar Allan Poe wrote on both. Sorry. Chess. Apparently he likes chess. Go to the
Identical
Westlers.
twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
Unsurprising, I suppose.
2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Bonk, bonk.
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Can't believe the game made a joke for me. Albert's letter, a pile of papers.
Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems. Perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it.
Is
It's
it?
just too intricate for you to comprehend.
Perhaps it
If
is.
you say so, boss.
Seems rather disorderly to me.
Isn't this familiar, Sonny? Just like your office and your desk. Taking a better look around, I can find even more similarities.
Marty,
Okay. Shut
Shut
up,
up,
Marty.
Marty.
I know. Isn't this okay?
So this letter is definitely the significant thing.
look at that. A letter.
New items. We never had this many items in our inventory before. Can we have a closer look at them?
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
Very stylish outfits they got there. A letter. I know I don't exist. I don't exist because you don't see me. But I'm not what you think I am. You don't think about me, do you? Never. No. I think of you. Every day, every minute, always. In my dreams, I've become one with him. One soul. You know what I'm thinking about, right? Can you feel it? Can you feel that I'm there too? With you? Do you feel it? Right? Wait, maybe I'll read it out if I
Albert
click
was
it.
madly
No.
in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that.
I can't hold it. Hey, in for myself much for what? I can't hold it in myself for long. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. The world is crashing down. The whole world is just rotting and everything is rotting around me. I have to get out of here to become one with my destiny and one with you. Forgive me.
Albert was... It's a piece of a painting. What do you make
intriguing.
of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know.
Who's he
What
referring
should
to?
I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
We should be going
Everything
after
will be revealed soon.
We must be near the finale
Why
now.
do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
It's understandable.
You're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Hotel
Back
Atlas,
to
probably.
Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
Well, let's first
You're
finish
driving
exploring
me
this room.
Crazy. But all right, let's go home.
What? What? We're not done, though. Hold on. Let's see if I can quickly hop back into where we want to go. Okay, so it turns out I can't get back into the room, but I looked up what we do in the other video. There's a bedside book, another Chicken Please book. It's not a particularly interesting one, so haven't missed out there too much. You can click on the bed, and then Marty's like, oh, looks like he had it pretty good here, or something like that. You can click on the painting, and the painting is in the exact same style as all the paintings in the Nile, which is actually quite interesting. And Sunny points it out, being like, this art style's really familiar. And then there's a joke at Marty's like, you've been single for far too long. And on the wall, Marty's like, oh, is this a puzzle? And Sunny's like, we got to find a pattern or something like that. And they don't say anything else, it seems like. But I'm pretty sure that "wah" thing kind of looks like, you know, the WHO, etc., written on Natasha's house and on Deborah's back. So, yeah, that's what we missed. Nothing too plot essential, but, you know, I did want to find out anyway. So we'll just ask about this and we'll round up this episode here, I think.
We saw in Albert's room.
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko? Well, yes. I don't know much about her, but everyone heard her name and her voice around here.
Did she ever visit this place?
Never.
I don't know why she would.
But if you ask me, Natasha probably didn't even know Albert was a resident of our institution.
And Albert, did he mention her often?
Constantly. It was obvious he had
I feel
an
like that's plain to
affection
see.
for Miss Katsenko, but I wouldn't have thought for a moment he could escape because of her.
Very
I
much an
wouldn't
obsession.
jump ahead, Doctor. Something else could be behind Albert's disappearance.
Do you think so? All the signs clearly indicate this.
Oh my god, they actually did do a twin switch, didn't they? Albert almost certainly escaped. That's what he's writing about for the letter. He's taking Ibn's place so he can be with Natasha.
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work,
That's my guess.
logic's not always the best advisor.
In
I'm surprised they
99%
actually went
of
with this.
cases.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs to the remaining 1%.
If you say so.
I kind of want to look at the letter again, but hold on. So, you don't see him, but I'm not what you think, man. You don't think about me every day. So this is obviously Albert writing. You know, I am thinking about, right? I become one with him, one soul. He must be referring to Ibn here, or Hobart. I'm there to you. What do you feel? With you, do you feel it right? I can't hold myself alone. Forgive me. While I was crashing down, while I was rotting, I had to get out of here to become one with my destiny and one with you. Forgive me. That's my guess. It might be like a double
Albert
bait and
was
switch,
madly in love.
where he didn't actually
It's a piece of a painting.
go together with Natasha. Sorry, didn't take Albert's place,
Is
but
this...
I would.
maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But for now, we'll find out next time, or maybe not next time, or some point in the future. But for now, we'll round up this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Chicken Police, Paint It Red. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, all greatly appreciated. Links down below. No? I forgot I meant to be saying. Join my Dear Darling Discord and follow me on Twitter down below. I hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.